everyone, it's Kayla, and today I am talking about The Blood of Olympus by Riordan. And if you haven't read any of the Percy Jackson books or any of the Heroes of Olympus books, go out and do it. Start with Percy Jackson, then work your way to Heroes of Olympus. Definitely do it in order though, since all the books are out now. You'll understand so much more in Heroes of Olympus. But sadly to say, if you haven't read any of those books, and if you haven't read Blood of Olympus, you should go, because since this is the last book in this series, it's going to be super spoily review. So if you haven't read Blood of Olympus and any of the other Percy Jackson books, I would leave now because I'm going to get right into the book review. So bye! So for those who stayed, I don't own anything purple or orange, but I own this fuchsia colored jacket, so I put it on top of my shirt. So first, just like diving into it, my notes are kind of like scattered and crazy. Here they are. They're just like, they're not in order, and they're just like random thoughts that I had, and I was gonna take them like as I read, but I get too into reading, so I just wrote it all down at the end. But so Jason, like right off the bat, gets stabbed by his own sword. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right? Yeah. And I was just sitting there thinking, why would they fight with weapons that can hurt them too? And it's like painful and agonizing, and so I was just sort of like, I understand that it hurts monsters, but it hurts you too. Why would you fight with that weapon? Also, Reina and Nico in this book, I loved them. I loved when we got to their storyline. Honestly, the storylines, we'd be away from each one so long, like we'd either be with Reina and Nico for a long amount of time, or the seven for a long amount of time, that I'd go back to the different storyline and be like, wait, what was happening here again? I would just be so invested in the other one that whenever we would switch, I had no idea what was going on. But I really liked reading Reina and Nico's storyline. It was really fun, and I loved seeing just how, like, Hades sun crap going on. Like, Nico is super cool, and all of his Hades voodoo that he can do, I think is super awesome. Like, it can be a little scary, but it's super legit, too. And I think that Reina and Nico made really good friends because they're both loners, like, by choice. I know that sometimes Reina doesn't want to make it by choice, like, when she liked Jason and everything, but as a leader, she kind of can't, like, have much friends. Like, she kind of has to be on her own a lot of the time, especially because she's super wise. And a lot of times no one else is going to go down the road that she goes, but she will still go down it, which is awesome. And Nico just pushes everyone away. And it was really cool to see him open up to her. And he got her to open up to him, too, which is crazy because he doesn't even, like, try to talk to people, but he was getting her to talk to him. And then when that dude from the camp came, Nico just, like, made the earth swallow him up. That was, like, really cool, but also so crazy. Like, I didn't even realize all the powers that he had. And they seem like powers that, like, the god himself, Hades, would have. And whenever we go back to Hazel, I'm like, Hazel can't do any of this. Like, Hazel can do the mist, which is super cool. And she can do all the, like, gold stuff rising to the surface for her little horse, Arion. But, like, Nico is next level, and he's just super cool. And he does not seem like a 14-year-old. Whenever I read from his point of view, I don't think that he's 14 at all. And he's really not, since he's, like, born so long ago, but I just love him. He's my favorite. Leo and Calypso at the end of this book were so cute. Like, I do think that Leo should have gone back and been like, hey guys, I'm okay. And Hazel and Nico both, like, they didn't want to make people hope either. So they, like, kept the fact that Leo's death was really strange to themselves. So nobody knows that, like, Leo is still alive. And I feel like, even though we'll never know, I feel like when he does go back to them, like, how would you feel if one of your friends, like, wasn't actually dead and they didn't, like, tell you about it? I don't know. I'd be kind of annoyed, but at the same time, like, it was really cute how Leo was like, no, Calypso's gotta have first priority, like, I'm getting back to her, and how he was, like, talking to her, and then she just ran up and kissed him. I was like, stop it, you're too cute. I cried at the end of this book, like, whenever he was going back to her. It was so emotional, and I was so happy for them to be together. The part with Nike, the Victor Goddess, was really funny. The gods are so crazy. I don't know. You know, sometimes I think that our demigods act more mature than the gods do. Because, like, I understand that they're being so exaggerated of themselves because of the rift with the Greek and Roman sides. But, like, Victory is so crazy. She's like, no, let's just kill each other. Like, you're supposed to save us, but go ahead and fight to the death first and then we'll work all this out. They always handle their situations so well, and, like, it's so weird to think how young these demigods are, and they're literally saving the world. Like, sometimes I read these little YA books and I'm like, I'm older than this person is and I haven't done anything with my life. Yeah, that part was just, like, really cool. It's fun to see them all work together, and, I don't know, it was just awesome, and they, like, always just work through their problems, and obviously they have to because they have to defeat Gaia, but, like, I just love when they're all working as a team, and it's just really great to read. So there's Orion, the thing that happened with the wolves and Reyna and Hyla and Thalia. Is it Thalia or Talia? Because in the movie he said Talia, and I was like, all my pronunciations are mixed up, but, so Orion is, like, after them, and at first, honestly, Reyna was taking some special notes of him, and I was like, oh my gosh, is she gonna fall in love with him? But, of course she didn't, and we never really get any resolve about who she's supposed to be with, but maybe that'll be a book. That'd be cool if we, like, got maybe more books that happen after with maybe about Reyna. I think it'd be super cool to learn about her, and it'd be a super cool, like, series, maybe, like, a trilogy or something just about Reyna and, like, her Roman adventures, and maybe we get to see Jason building all the shrines and Persebeth going to college in New Rome. That'd be really cool to see. And as we're going through all this and Nico is, like, shadow traveling everywhere, for a while I'm pretty sure that Nico just, like, wanted to die. I really got that vibe. I think that, like, this ending of Gaia thing in his mind was like, finally, like, I can just, like, help these guys out and then I'll just be done. And who knows, like, where does he go when he dies? Like, where would Nico go to? Because he's the son of Hades, but, like, I don't know. His whole life just confuses me, but he kept shadow traveling. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? You're gonna kill yourself. And I really don't think that he cared that he was gonna kill himself. And it was really cute how Will was like, no more underworld stuff for you, like 3 days bed rest. And he's like, okay. I really like the part whenever, this is going back to Orion and all them, and when the Hunters of Artemis and the Amazons capture Reyna, and they leave a note, and it's like, I owe you a Roman praetor, like, sit tight, XOXO, the Hunters of Artemis. That was just, like, super funny. And the part whenever Percy is telling, like, Jason that Atlantis is a myth, and Jason's like, okay, but our lives are kind of, like, centered around myths. So he's like, no, not the real myths, but the made-up myths. And Jason's like, oh, this is why Annabeth is the brains of the operation, huh? I just love their playful banter, because they're both so supreme, like, in their powers. And it's funny to see this almost, like, testosterone battle between them all the time. I don't know. They're really funny. Leo's plan was super sad. Like, even though he did live, you know, I said these notes are all over the place, but, even though he lived, it was just so sad, and, like, I like how Frank and Hazel, like, let him do it. I feel like sometimes, with books, our characters, they get so attached to their friends, and it's like, but this is what has to happen, and you just have to accept it, and he knew that the Roman part of them would accept it. And it was so noble. Like, Leo's always the one cracking jokes and making everyone laugh. And then really, though, when it gets down to business, he is so willing to risk everything for his friends and for the world. And it was just awesome that it worked out in the end. And then, of course, during the battle, we didn't really see Persebeth's point of view. We didn't really see it a lot because even though that they were in these books, it wasn't really focused around them. But it was really cute how they were going to be like, no more quests, and they're going to live in New Rome and go to college together. And I was just, like, picturing, like, Percy and Annabeth having, like, a study date. And Percy is there just, like, I don't even know, like, doing water tricks or whatever. And Annabeth is, like, scolding him and making him study. It'd just be so cute. Persebeth in college. That should be a book series, too. And it was also really cute how at the end there was a bunch of unity between, like, Piper and Hazel and Annabeth and Reyna. And they were all just, like, linking arms and talking and, like, girl power all cute together. And the part whenever Reyna finally defeats Orion and Athena lends, like, the cloak or whatever onto Reyna, that was just super cool. And Reyna is just so, like, kick a butt, and she's like, it's been a pleasure serving, like, I'm ready to do this, I'm gonna save everyone. Everyone in this book is just so willing to die for the cause, and it's cool to read from their point of view. Another funny part, I was just thinking about the snake people, and that part whenever he's like, oh, we're gonna, like, help you out, and Piper's like, okay, this is a trick, And Annabeth's like, yeah, it is. And Percy's like, hey, but they've got dessert. Come on board. Like, I don't know. Percy's so funny. I love for him to be my friend. Like, if he were not fictional, I would love him in my life. That'd just be great. And then the part whenever they're, like, on board and the Snake King is talking about, like, how his people were the Gemini. And Percy's like, oh, cool, I'm a Leo. And Leo's like, no, you're Percy, I'm Leo. It's cute. I loved it. And I love the part when they were battling all the giants and all the gods just like teamed up and were like, yeah, and like killing everyone. And it was just cool to see all the gods come down, because honestly, I didn't, like, where have you guys been? You've been, like, what is it called? Out of commission, whatever. Y'all just been away, and it's time y'all came back. And I was just thinking, though, when Aphrodite was just sprinkling the rose petals on people, on the gods, I was like, how are you being helpful right now? Piper was just stabbing with her sword, and Aphrodite's like, rose petals. Like, girl, you ain't helping nothing, just sit down. But that's really it for my notes. I did like how this book wrapped it up. I thought it was really sweet, and it was just cool to see everyone so united for one cause. And, you know, what's his face? The Augur, starts with an O. Octavian! He's dead, and I honestly didn't regret it. Like, he's just selfish. For a while, I thought that he was teamed up with Gaia, and that turned out to be wrong. He just really wanted to, like, have the thing of, like, being able to save Rome, and I guess in a way he sort of did, but it was really, like, a whole Leo thing. But I'm really happy Octavian's gone. He was a pain in the butt, and I don't know why people listen to him, because he's weird and just obnoxious. But tell me your thoughts on the book, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, and if you liked this video, go down and give it a thumbs up for me and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day. Bye!